Have you ever felt like you were chasing success that never really makes you feel good, pretty much unfulfilled? Those of you that have families or loved ones, you sometimes feel disconnected. My name is Drew Cameron. For years, I was lost in life searching for answers, with only one goal: create a strong legacy. To do this, I must become someone else. I must become something else. Another day. When God stitches two hearts together, it's not just a match, it's a masterpiece. Don't even think about pulling those threads apart. It's like trying to unscramble an egg. Impossible and messy. Stay true to that one-of-a-kind bond. What up, fellas? Welcome back to another Unload session where I dive deeper into the ATD letter that goes out every Saturday that I've engineered to help you create tools to attack the day. What's up, fellas? Have you ever felt like you were chasing a version of success that leaves you unfulfilled and disconnected from what truly matters? Your family and your core values. In our busy lives, it's easy to forget what makes a great leader. It's not about what you achieve. It's about balancing being successful with being a good person and taking care of your family. We all have to figure out how to be our best in a world that often cares more about money and jobs than anything else. Back in the 80s when I was little, I didn't have a lot of action heroes, didn't have a lot of people that looked like me. So I had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sylvester Stallone. Those were the big movie guys in action movies that I watched growing up. Loved all those movies. But it was different. A lot of these roles, they were depicted as leaders and strong men. Sometimes they had families and they had to protect their family in these movies. But I'm a firm believer in leading by example. So not having an example to be showcased in regular TV media that I watched sometimes kind of made it hard to kind of see myself in that light. So I wanted to touch on, now there are and there were people that look like me that were on the screen. Carl Weathers, who played Creed and Action Jackson. I think Tamik Tricolio. He played Bruce Leroy in, I can't even remember the name of the movie. Something Dragon, Return of the Dragon. So later on I found out, or there were actors that looked like me on the screen, but that was years later, to see myself as a leader. Now, mind you, I'm a kid and I'm breaking this down now as an adult, but I always felt and thought pretty deeply. And it always bothered me that it was never a depiction of a hero or somebody that looked like me on the TV screen. So society often depicts success, having a great job, having tons of money. But sometimes literally chasing money pulls you away from your family. Anything can pull you away from your family. And you know me, I don't agree with that. And I constantly put this information out to help you all to understand the distractions that are all around us that are constantly trying to pull us away from what truly matters. So it got me to remembering 3 things that my dad taught me and how important and pivotal they were that helped me to create the 3 things that are most important to me now and what I instilled and passed down to my family. So my dad he's a pretty simple guy. It was keep a job, keep a car, and keep some money in your pocket. Pretty simple. But as I got older, having my own family, that just wasn't going to cut it. I tried to just keep a job, keep a car, and keep some money in my pocket, but I needed a little bit more than that. But those were great kind of foundational steps that got me kind of pointed in the right direction. And I think that says a lot to kind of the old school, because not giving you too much. You ever heard the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it? I think that's true, because he gave me those three pillars, and then I had to figure out the rest along the way. But as long as I remembered those were the main goal, I just had to reach that. And anything that I had to do to get that is all I needed to be worried about. So it got me to thinking about what's inside versus what society says. Real strength comes from inside you. The military and bodybuilding taught me about discipline and staying fit. These experiences helped me find my most important values. So one of the most important values, or pillars, as I like to put them, is God, family, and living. All right. So my first pillar is God. Having a strong relationship with God helps me through my tough times and my good times. Family, as a man with a family, everything I do is for my family and building my legacy. Lifting others is important. All the skills, everything that I've ever done has been in the hopes of being a service. So it all started out lifting myself up, building my body up, getting strong, getting physically fit. As time went on, I began to progress and gain skills in real estate, barbering, personal training, data analytics, all the things and skills my dad taught me, just tons of skills to help people. Coaching, there's a lot of skills and attributes that I have as a father that I passed down to my children. And outside of my house, I also pass those skill sets down to other men and other people that need assistance at times as well. So these are three pillars that I believe for a high value man and what I'm teaching my boys. God, family, and lifting. So God plus family equals unconditional love. God plus lifting equals increased success. Family plus lifting equals clarity, perspective, and purpose. So this helps me to keep everything balanced. Planning, priorities, a schedule, time management, knowing how to manage my time and what's most important. It helps me balance both work and family life and personal development goals. So talking with my wife, we always talk about what we need to do and what we expect from one another, constantly reassuring one another that we are there as a team in this thing, in this marriage, in this partnership. So we recently just celebrated our anniversary. And this was an anniversary that was different in aspects of we didn't travel, we didn't do, I guess, Instagram worthy posting type traveling. We stayed in our city, in our state, and just had a good day together. And a lot of people may do it that way, but this was the first time maybe in about 5 years that we didn't travel. We didn't get a hotel, just kept it close knit to the house, to one another. And we celebrated 13 years and how important that was to us. So we made a couple promises to one another this year, going into 13 years, and how we were going to just take our marriage and our relationship to a whole nother level. And if you watched any of my other videos, I talked about getting feedback from your loved ones, getting feedback from people that are around you the most so you can understand how to be the best version of yourself. So learning from my family is important. Asking my sons and my daughter, like, how can I be a better dad? Asking my wife, how can I be a better husband? Is how I continue to excel and get better every single day. I'm always learning, I'm always reading, I'm always striving to attain as much knowledge as possible, because knowledge is power. Having knowledge, having power makes me feel strong, way stronger than it does to go lift 400 pounds on the deadlift or bench 225 for multiple reps. It's important for my knowledge to exceed leaps and bounds. Sometimes when my kids and I have a difference of opinion or a disagreement, I implement corrective training where I give them books to read, and I want information, basically a report, to give me what have you learned, because the punishment has to fit the crime. And a lot of times their lack of knowledge causes them to act out or do something that doesn't make sense. So one time, my daughter, I gave her some books to read over the course of a few weeks. She said, "Dad, you don't have any, all your books are knowledge books." I said, "Yeah." She said, "You don't have any storytelling books or, any fantasy? And I said, I don't read those books anymore, and all books tell a story. But I'm writing the story to my life. So getting the knowledge that I need along the way from my journey is more important than anything. Knowledge is power. So it was just funny to me that she recognized that all my books were, as she called it, knowledge books. But knowledge is power. And so I do my best to make sure my kids read as many books as possible as well, to ensure that they get all the knowledge that they need. So I got a couple of questions for you. To find your most important values, think about what you can't live without. How can these values guide your everyday choices? Question number 2, to stay focused on your values, when life gets crazy, remind yourself of them every day. How can you make your actions match your values? Question number 3, to get better, know your strengths and what you need to work on. How can you balance improving yourself and using your talents? So I'll leave you with those 3 questions. Answer those 3 questions. Shoot me a DM, put it in the comments. I want to hear what your answers are. I made this one a little shorter. Again, each week I'm getting better. Iteration over time is the way that I'm going to craft the ideal podcast/YouTube channel that speaks to you, but also documents my journey as a man, as a father, and a leader of my household. So here's the AAR this week. Together towards excellence, our collective journey as leaders and fathers. Our journey as men, leaders, dads is all about growing and learning. By sticking to our values and keeping our lives balanced, we can lead happy lives. Let's take on this journey with bravery and open hearts. We're here to build a life that's about more than money. It's about being wise, loving, and strong for those we care about. We have to figure out how to be our best in a world that often cares more about money and jobs than anything else. This has been another unload session. So please like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you have some more topics, things you want me to discuss, and I'll dive deep and unload in the next ATD letter. Attack the day.